Members of Parliament, ladies and gentlemen, members of the Council of Ministers, good evening and welcome back. We are now at the second round of this public meeting, the public meeting handling the draft budget or the amended budget 2024. At this time, I want to welcome the Minister of VSA, Public Health, Social Development and Labor. I want to welcome back the Minister of Finance. Welcome back the Prime Minister. Welcome back the Minister of Vromi, and welcome back the Minister of Tiat. And members of Parliament, of course, according to the previous speakers, we will now continue with the second round, and as already established, the speaking time per member of Parliament is 15 minutes. I look at MP Gumbs and I got the signal that MP Gumbs will not be speaking in this second round. No need to, as well as not feeling totally up to it. It's more not being totally up to it. And then I look at MP De Wever. MP De Wever, you would be next on schedule.
I have no further questions, Madam Chair Lady. Thank you.
No further questions. Thank you, MP De Wever. I have up MP York. MP York.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have no further questions. Thank you.
MP York, no further questions. No need for a second round for you either. I then go over to MP Irian. MP Irian.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yes, I would have a few questions for the Minister of Tiat, and she knew there was coming, so I know the answers are already available. So my question would be related to lottery booths, and this is important because we saw the complaints regarding income for the government, revenue generation, and I would hope that for budget 2025 we can include this potential revenue. So my question would be, based on the answers given in the first round, Minister Tiat, Helga Martin, the current lottery booths, so we're very, very clear. Are they legal? Is there a legal basis? Are they operating with a legal basis? So basically, we have the original lottery booth, the person that has the license. There are about 100 others you mentioned in your, I believe, or let's say between 60 and 100. Every other booth that exists, do they have a legal basis? Are they operating legally? Because I think it's unfair that we have controllers going by certain businesses, controlling them, and not just in your ministry, but other ministries, and then I am being fined, I'm being shut down, but then there's a particular business in our community that gets away scotch-free. So are they independent contractors? Do they have SAV? Do they pay taxes? Do they have a legal basis? And what I'm happy for, though, at least, you mentioned that you'll be bringing a legislation that makes sure that all of them actually pay their fair share. So I'm looking forward to that. And I also hope, again, that that legislation or that income or potential or expected income is reflected in Budget 2025. I believe we heard again that education needs a lot of extra funds, among others. Incoming Minister Brugge, MP Brugge, also is questioning his budget for VSA. So I believe this is one area that we can for sure generate revenue. And Minister of Finance, in Aruba, they generate, I believe, at least 25 billion gills a year based on lottery booths. That policy, I think we started out the research on that. I believe it's in the ministry. I believe it's something good to continue. And that's why countries like Aruba and Curacao, we talk about their athletes and how good they are, well funded. They're not funded by every week going and asking for donations. They're funded because they have structural income coming in from the lottery booths. So I'm asking if that policy still exists, or that's the start of that document. Are you aware of the documentation? The company that was behind it, there's one company from Canada that does it for all of them. And has any of those discussions continued? That'll be all, Madam Chair.
Thank you, MP Irian. The next speaker is MP Ottley. MP Ottley, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, during this budget debate, the CC, even the public meeting, we asked various questions to get answers to know how to move forward. A lot of the answers were given, and let me say that when it comes to the budget amendment itself, I understand a good bit of the cuts that were made. My only concern was to urge the government just not only look at the remaining couple months. But the elephant in the room was the GEBE and the 75.6 million that is expected of us to approve. And in the budget it says, once approved, we give the Prime Minister the approval to then authorize him to go ahead and finish the deal or start the discussion with GEBE. I would like to make it known that once the discussion is started with BZK, it would be very prudent of the Prime Minister to present any requirements or conditions to Parliament. I'm pretty sure something will be asked. It won't, zebra don't change its stripe. So something will be asked. So it'll be very interesting to see what will be asked through you, Madam Chair. But Madam Chair, as I said earlier in my first round, I will be presenting a motion, and I would like to present that said motion right here in the second round. So it goes. Parliament of St. Martin in today's meeting, October 29, 2024, considering that the residents and business of St. Martin have been significantly burdened with high utility bills by NVGEBE, exacerbated fuel clause, true port fee, and double taxation, be it TOT. That constant power outage caused by NVGEBE, operational challenges, have not only damaged household appliance and electrical devices, but they had to be replaced on the expense of the consumer. That numerous and daily load shedding have negatively impacted the reputation of St. Martin's tourism product and overall economic stability of the country. That SHTA survey on NVGEBE impact on business sectors shows 41% loss of business and 19% loss of stock. That NVGEBE was affected by a ransomware on March 17, 2022, and results lost 12 months of data, causing incorrect and untimely billing to the customer and incorrect or missing department collection reports. That this ransomware was no fault of the consumer, but actually created a burden for the consumer. That NVGEBE's inability to provide reliable and affordable service is directly affecting the quality of life for residents and the operational capacity of business. That the existing throughput fee is passed on to the consumer. That immediate relief for residents and businesses is in need of a super economic recovery. We need to restore public confidence in NVGEBE. That these three generators will take over 2 years to arrive and be operational. That the placement of the 75.6 million on the budget capital expenditure eliminates for this year housing projects, KB Phase 1 projects, building of high school, and affecting other aspects of St. Martin. That NVGEBE is actually losing present and future revenue by chasing past due revenues, by GEBE disconnecting the average earner due to an extreme high past consumer amount now forced to stop making payment due to disconnection. we move to the resolution to call on the government of St. Martin to ensure that all TOT are not placed on invoices, as it is not common practice for businesses to transfer their TOT to consumer. To provide financial relief to GEBE consumers by considering writing off 50% of past due bills to a maximum of 5,000 guilders, taking into account the financial feasibility of such from all outstanding residential electricity bills, ensuring that the most vulnerable in society benefits the most from this, as electricity is a basic human right. To request the Minister of Tourism, Economic Affairs and Traffic Telecommunication, as the minister responsible for setting the maximum tariff, to use the power invested in her in accordance with the concession ordinance to decrease the tariff in the interest of the people immediately by national decree containing general measures for all residential bills. To request the Minister of Tourism, Economic Affairs, Traffic and Telecommunication, as the minister responsible to set the tariff, to use the power invested in her by the concession ordinance to decrease the tariff in the interest of the people immediately to national decree, immediately via national decree containing general measures for bills for 3 months for the commercial sector. To regularly engage with commercial customers to understand their needs, challenges, better use feedback to develop programs that can be more meaningful and bring a permanent relief without compromising GEBE's financials permanently. To revise and simply calculate the calculation of NVGEBE's fuel clause to ensure it solely reflects the actual cost of fuel, thereby providing transparent and fair billing practices to the people of St. Martin. To request NVGEBE to present up-to-date audits and yearly financial report to shareholders to ensure renewable energy is not neglected, and request GEBE to present their renewable plan within 3 months, whereby the relevant minister will be asked to return to Parliament. And it goes over to the order of the day, copy of this motion to be sent Government of St. Martin, the Board of Directors, NVGEBE, the Minister of Tourism, Economic Affairs, Traffic and Telecommunication, and all relevant stakeholders. This motion was supported by myself, MP Ottley, MP Francisca La Cruz, MP Egbert Duran, MP Ardwell Arian, and MP Darrell York. And MP Ludmila De Weaver. Madam Chair, it is extremely important of such, where we speak of the TOT, I'd just like to take a minute to explain such to the people of St. Martin. What is found is that SOL transfers their bills to the Harbor Group, and the TOT, turnover tax, is added in this invoice. The Harbor Group, in turn, transfers that to the vessels with the turnover tax in it, which by the time it reaches the consumer, we are now billed with the turnover tax in it. This is not common practice. It is actually borderline illegal, if not illegal, to instate your TOT in such invoices. So the removal of such will bring an immediate relief moving forward for the consumer. Thank you.
Thank you, MP Ottley. The next MP to speak is MP Brug. MP Brug, you have the floor.
Madam Chair Lady, at this moment I have no further questions for the second round. Thank you.
Thank you, MP Brug. MP La Cruz, you have the floor.